Hello, thanks for joining me. I just popped out because I'm getting a bit stir crazy inside, but it's not the best of days. In fact, I put my wet weather gear on because it's given out to be showers, sort of sunshine and showers all day. And no sooner than I left home than I had a bit of a sprinkling, but it's gone now, so it's quite bright at the moment. So I'm just off on the T100. The plan is today is to, there we go. Now, today, what I wanted to do is get out, have a quick chat about this, about my new bike. Nothing too major. I'm not going to, it's not going to be a full warts and all review, but a first thoughts. I was out on it at the weekend. I did 250 miles on Saturday. Actually, I've got an admission to make that I forgot all about Dave Myers' run going up the M6 near to me. I think with all the excitement of collecting the bike on Friday and they gave out a reasonable day on Saturday, that I just sort of forgot and thought, well, I'll go to the seaside, I'll go to Bournemouth on Saturday for a ride out. And when I was halfway there, I remember that it was the run, so I missed it, much to my shame. I would have certainly joined in. I probably wouldn't have gone up to Barrow, but I'd have certainly joined in. So yeah, so I'm a bit disappointed about that, but the bike's not disappointing at all. What I will say on just a little thing, when I agreed to buy this bike, I was on eBay just having a look to see what was available for it, and there was a comfort seat. It was like in a dark brown for what I thought was the right price. Now, I've had a Bonneville before, and it was an old air-cooled one, and I didn't find the seat that comfortable. So I thought, well, for the price it was on, I thought I'll risk it. So I bought this comfort seat. So then the post office did their very best to lose it. Yeah, they put a card through saying it was at my local shop, and I went to the shop and guess what, wasn't there. They said, oh, it might be to another shop, and it wasn't there either. But then a couple of days later it turned up at the original shop, so I've got it fitted now. So what I will say is, I don't know if any of you have got experiences of these comfort seats, whether they're worthwhile or not, but hello, what's going on down here? This is madness. Right, there we go. But when I went to Bournemouth, I was on the standard seat, and it was okay. I've had much worse seats than that, much worse, and I do think it was better than my old Bonneville seat. But there was times that I had to stop because the old numb bum was it was starting to show its true colours, and I thought, well, I'll just get off and have a stretch for 10 minutes now. So I had to stop a couple of times, 3 times, and then I stopped a third time for fuel. So I did have to stop. So I don't think it's the most comfortable seat in the world, but equally, I'd say it's like an average seat. I think if it'd be good for 100 miles. If you're doing a 100-mile day. But yeah, it's not the last word in comfort, but equally it's what you'd expect, I suppose. But anyway, I've got my comfort seat on now, and I'm not really sure it's comfy enough, but I've only done a few miles. I'm only 5 miles in, so I can't really judge. But it seems fine. Tell me what you think. If you've got a Bonnie and you've got a comfort seat on it, tell me what you think. Is it a waste of money, or do you like it? So that's my comfort seat. Now, the main reason, and there's one other thing that I just wanted to cover. In fact, I'll just turn you round. I'll turn you round in a sec, so you can see where we're going, and then I'll tell you what my plan was today. So the plan today was just to get out, have a little tickle round, and what I want to do is catch up on your photographs that you've been sending me. I've got some wonderful photographs, and I often say it, I'd be neglecting my duties if I didn't put them on, if people have been good enough to send them to me. And I am always looking for more. So if you've got any photographs or any memories or any comments you want to pass on through this YouTube malarkey, then send them to shottostravels@gmail.com, and I'll happily post them on. I do know people like to see your photos, and just as much like to hear any stories as well. So if you've got anything for me, let me know. It'd be brilliant. Now, so a bit later on, I'm going to get a bit of footage on the Bonnie up the hills, and we'll put some of your marvellous photographs on. And while I'm just tickling around here, one or two people have said, I've had a couple of comments saying, what's the difference between this, which is the Buddykins, I kept saying Edkins, didn't I? See, I wasn't used to it at all. The Buddykins Special Edition and the standard T100 from the time. Bearing in mind that this is the first water-cooled variant of the Bonnie that they came out with. I think this came out in 2017. This is a 2020 model, but I am aware that since then they've had a bit of a revamp, a spring clean like they do, and I do know that this is I think this is 55 brake horse, and the later ones are 65 brake horse. They did increase them a little bit, probably altered one or two bits, but one or two people have said to me, well, what do you get for your special edition? Well, I'll see if I can remember. Let's be honest, we all know that essentially it's a marketing exercise, isn't it? They say it's a special edition, and try and get us all part with the money. And actually, it's not that much specialer. Is that a word? I don't know. Anyway, it's not so much more special than the standard bike. The vast majority of it is just a paint job. It's as simple as that. The paint job on this is apparently, if you read the blurb, it's reminiscent of the 60s and California and all that sort of stuff. So it's the red and white paint job is the main thing. Now let's have a look at what else we've got. So it's the paint job. The logo on the tank apparently is the logo that Triumph were using around the time in the 60s, and it has got a subtle difference. If you look at my tank logo, the sweep that goes underneath the word Triumph goes to the end. Yeah, so I'm just looking at it now. Yeah, it goes into the H at the end. But on modern Triumphs, the latest version, or Triumphs, later versions of Triumphs, the sweep went to like the middle of the word. I'm just trying to think off memory where it went to. Let me have a look. It's sort of, is it like to the M or to the P or something like that? So it went underneath and then came up, but this goes right round into the end. So this is apparently the logo from the 60s. So that's a difference. But essentially it's cosmetic. I've also got some Bud Eakins Triumph Sherman Oaks California badges. There's one embossed into the tank and there's one on the front mudguard. I'm imagining that was his dealer badge at the time. So it says Bud Eakins on my side panel as well. It says T100 Bud Eakins. So like I said, nothing of any real major significance. As far as hardware is concerned, I've got a Monza fuel cap, apparently. So I've got a Monza brushed steel fuel cap. I've got bar end mirrors. Okay, I've got bar end mirrors as standard, and the grips, I don't think you can see the grips at the moment, were like a grey, like a light grey grip, which I've got at home. I don't know what to describe them. They weren't white, but they're like a very light grey diamond cut handlebar grip, apparently again reminiscent of the time. But I, as part of the deal, asked them to put me heated grips on, which they did. Pretty much, we came to an agreement over them, you know. So I've got heated grips fitted to this, but I do have the original grips at home. Oh, something else I've just spotted that wasn't standard at the time, I'm sure you could have probably got them as an aftermarket if you wished, is the LED indicators, which I think look quite smart. Yeah, we've got LED indicators all round. I don't think, well, I know I haven't got an LED headlight. I've got a standard headlight and standard tail light, but it does have these LED indicators on. So that's about it. It's a paint job, bar end mirrors, LED indicators, a few badges, and and I've got a certificate I noticed in the owner's pack with all the books and stuff. There was like an envelope, and I looked in the envelope, and there was a kind of posh card which gave you the told you a bit about Bud Hickins and his history with Triumph, his Great Escape thing, his racing. Quite a nice little thing to have. And this card is hand signed by John Bloor, who was is he still? I don't know. The chairman of Triumph. Is he the owner of Triumph? John Bloor and Bud Hickins' two daughters. They've both signed it. So, you know, I mean, well, it's nice to have, but it's something that you look at once and think, oh yeah, look wonderful. But now that's back in the pack ready. You know, if I ever get rid of this, then the next owner will get that. So it's nice to look at as a one-off, but not really of any major, you know, doesn't make this go any faster, does it? But nice thing to have. So those are the differences, mostly cosmetic, as you would expect. Let's face it, they all do it. It doesn't matter whether you're a car manufacturer, you know, or a bike manufacturer. They all want to sell stuff, and if it helps them shift a few bikes at the time, then that's what they did. Okay, now it's early days for the comfort seat, but so far so good, I think. Yeah, so far so good. Changes that I've already made to this little bike. You know, when we think about it, this is 900cc. Now, it's not that little, is it? It might only, and that's in inverted commas as well, be 55 brake horsepower, but little bike, 900. How things change, don't they, eh? How we change our perception of things as time goes by. But anyway, when I got it, so I've put this comfort seat on. Only just put it on. Jury's still out. Seems okay. Seems fine at the moment, but I haven't come far. Time will tell. When I bought the bike, it had got on the front, it had got a little dot fly screen, like a little black fly screen, which just covered the clocks and came up a bit. Well, I took that off. I'm not really a big fan of wind screens on naked bikes, unless it's a big touring screen and, you know, I'm genuinely going to the south of France or somewhere, then I'm not really that bothered about them. I think they cause turbulence, and from a YouTuber's point of view, I mean, currently I've got you mounted on my petrol tank, and you know, you can't see through the screen. It's like you're peeping around the screen or over the screen, so it's better for my camera if it's off. So the fly screen's off. The other thing that I've taken off, and this will divide opinion, I know a lot of you will hate it. You will hate this because you did on the Enfield Classic. There was behind the seat there was like a chrome grab rail, but I've taken that off and I've put a rear luggage rack and my top box on. Oh no, I hear you say, some of you will be saying, oh, that's terrible, you know, because it completely spoils the look, the aesthetics of the bike. And I get that, I got that on my Enfield as well. But for me personally, so I've put a rack and my box on, and for me personally, I like the convenience of a top box. I just like it. If I've got anything carry, it goes in my box, my sandwiches, or my flask. If the missus says get a pint of milk while you're out, I've got somewhere, but I've got to stuff it down my jumper, have I? And sometimes, like my vlogging gear, although normally I don't put too much in there, but if I've got a bit of anything I want carry, goes in my top box. What do you think? Do you think it spoils the look? I'll put a picture of it up. I suspect a lot of you will say, because I sort of agree with you, but the functionality, the practicality outweighs the aesthetics. Ooh, what about that? Let's do it, Keith. Goodness me. So yeah, so my top box is on. So we've got a top box, we've got a comfort seat, screen's gone. What else have I done? Nothing. Oh, one little thing that I will mention, and then I need to get onto these photos, otherwise I'll be running out of time yakking on again. There's my centre stand. When I put it on the centre stand, hey, I tell you what, it's hard work. It's almost like the centre stand should be a foot further forward or 6 inches further forward at least. It seems like it's too far back. But then I noticed, I don't know if there's I suspect, Houston, we've got a problem. My first problem that I found, I'm not sure if it's a Triumph centre stand or if it's an aftermarket one. Here, let me show you this picture. I'll put a picture up now. There you are, that should be long enough. What do you think about that? It's not on its feet, is it? It's sloped back, it's like collapsed. The bump stop on the frame is there. But where the bump stop is on the centre stand that meets it to keep it propped up, looks to me to have collapsed. It looks to me to be bent. Now, I will take it back and mention it to him, but I'm not sure how. If I go back quite soon, because I've only just bought it and paid me money, if I go back quite soon, I'll stand a better chance and say, oi, there's a couple of things here. This is one of them. So that's that. My centre stand needs attention. But I'll tell you what I noticed. I put it on its centre stand and I just looked at the back wheel and I couldn't spin my back wheel because my back wheel was on the ground. I'm thinking, what's the point of having a centre stand if your back wheel's on the ground? I can't do my chain, I can't get my wheel off, no point. And then on further investigation I noticed that it was at a bit of a cockeyed angle. And again, a bit more investigation shows that the stop on the stand itself appears to be bent. It appears to be not, quite where it should be. Quite meeting up with the one on the frame, if that makes sense. So it'll be back for that, and I'll see what they say. So that's it for the moment, just a little bit about the Bodykins, and because I can ramble on, and now I'm going to get onto your photographs. So I'm just going to ride a bit, get a bit of background footage, and then I'll do a voiceover on your wonderful photographs. Don't forget, feel free to comment, like and subscribe. It does help the channel if you click that subscribe button. You'll find it in the description below. A lot of people have been supporting me. That's been grand. And it's a bit muddy down here for my new bike. Anyway, I have put a fender extender on as well, because you know what these front mudguards are like. They're terrible. Why they don't put proper mudguards on these bikes, God only knows. Well, anyway, where was I? Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to go on to the photos now. Send me your photos. shottostravels@gmail.com. Okie dokie, so first up we've got Paul. Now Paul lives very, very close to me. I'm surprised I haven't seen him knocking about, but he's got his blue Himalayan, which is called Layla, and his Transalp, which is called Bess, and both of these are taken in the Peak District. So they are grand, they're not far from me, and I certainly recognise that building on the second one. So thanks for sending them in, Paul.
And the next one, we've got Bill. Now, Bill's at Rugeley, so again, he's in Staffordshire as well. And he actually guessed that I was having a gold star, so we got that wrong. In actual fact, Bill, I had something very similar to what you'd got, because he sent me a picture of his Triumph Bonneville T120 at Croxton Abbey, which is another one that I know quite well, and he tells me he's also got a classic 350. So they are grand to see, so thanks for sending them in, Bill. And Steve has sent me a pic of his Honda 250 from 1973. Proper bike, mate. Yeah, we remember them very well. Now, Morgan lives in Spain. We've had a bit off Morgan in the past, and this time he's on his classic 350, his chrome red classic 350, and he's by the Meridian Post near where he lives in Spain. Now, Gary's down on the south coast, and he says the stormy skies over Broadstairs, which I believe is in Kent, and he's out on his street twin. He's overlooking the English Channel. Another Triumph man, obviously. So it seems that I've joined the ranks of the Triumph men. Thanks for sending, mate. And Donna sent me a pic of her sitting on a wonderful Halcyon Green Classic 350. That's nice to see, and thanks for supporting my little channel. Now Sean's in South Yorkshire, and Sean was just about to pick up his new Bullet when and he contacted me, and he bought a few bits off me that I took off my old classic, things like the sump guard and the heel and toe and stuff like that. And he sent me a picture of his Bullet, and sent me a picture of him fitting the sump guard, and also a couple of pictures of him and his mates went to a cafe that I'd never heard of in North Wales called the Old Bike Store Cafe. I've no idea why I've never heard of that, Sean, but it's certainly on my list. So here's the photos of the cafe, the Bullet, and a couple of his mates' bikes. Thanks for sending them, Sean, and best of luck with your wonderful bike, mate. Now Pete, my mate Pete, lives in Normandy, not far from Mont St Michael, and he was recently up on his classic 350, and he went to visit the D-Day 80th anniversary remembrance, and he sent some wonderful pictures from Normandy on that day. So thanks for sending them in, Pete. I'm very envious, as you know. Okay, and now Andrew, he's in Leicestershire, and he sent me some pictures of his fitting his Royal Enfield ammo box to the side of his Bullet, and he said it was a pain in the backside to fit, but he got there in the end. He says they look like an ammo box because originally that's exactly what they used to fit on the Enfields and probably other bikes over there, and they only fitted it on one side because the ladies in India, they ride the bike side saddle, and presumably that's why you see a sari guard on the other side. Okay, now then, last but not least, there's a couple of reprobates that I know very, very well here who are about to set off on the celebration of Dave Meyer's life, Dave Day, about to set off up the motorway on the Pan-European. To be honest, I'd have thought they'd have made an effort and put something different onto what they normally wear.
Okay, so I'm going to wrap this one up there. Thank you so much for sending your wonderful photographs in. If you've got any photos for me, as I've said before, feel free to send them in. I'll pop them on shottostravels@gmail.com. Sometimes you have to be a little bit patient with me when I've got other stuff going on, but I will get round to them, and I do like to have a few in stock, for the future. So that's been wonderful. Feel free to like and comment and subscribe. What do you think about this Bonneville then? It's alright, isn't it? I don't think it's too shabby. I'll tell you a bit more about it as we move forward, or at least my findings, warts and all. I'm not exactly sure where I am down here, but it's not the first time I've got lost. I like getting lost, it's part of the fun, isn't it? But anyway, yeah, I'll wrap it up. I'll say thank you for watching, take care of yourselves, ride safe, watch out for the potholes and the lunatic drivers, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!